Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is Giovanni Giorgio, but everyone calls me Giorgio. Jokes. Trying to figure a name for myself, but we'll figure out as we go. And maybe we'll start a community and talk about it. But anyways, let me describe what you guys are looking at, what I'm doing, what this video is about, what I'm going to do moving forwards. Essentially, what I'm trying to do is been trying to start a company for this past couple of years, pre-COVID. And I've been kind of dying down on it, so I want to keep myself more accountable. So I kind of promised myself that I will post YouTube videos to make things more interesting for me, and just keep talking to myself because I'm schizo like that. But I think this is also, I thought of myself like a good benefit for you guys to learn too, and to join in with me, and maybe we'll see how this goes, and maybe we create a community around this or something, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter, but as long as you guys are having fun, having a drink with me or whatever it is in coding, we're good. I also thought this would be good content for the interwebs, as I don't see there's a lot of embedded programmers, but I don't see a lot of people programming very I don't know what that word is, but very ideal products, I guess. I guess I didn't really explain what I said I was gonna make. This is a project for an audio amplifier. I'm a big audio dude. I'm a big audio enthusiast. It comes into quality and just the engineering behind audio. I think it's a very complex but very elegant piece of engineering. And I kind of wanted to create an audio amplifier. So out there solutions are not really what I want. And if they're super expensive. So maybe I could create something for the world that has a good balance of everything I want in an audio amplifier, and see what happens. And this is pretty much going to be the journey of how I do it. This is going to be raw footage. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before. This is like my 17th take, so I do apologize if I do ramble and repeat myself. This is my first video, and I think the quality will get better over time. And I guess let's just dive into it. So I think I just mentioned I have roughly 6 years of experience in the embedded platform, and I was started in robotics. I was in aerospace. I'm in automotive. A dream goal of mine is pretty much start my own company, an audio amplifier company, so to speak. I got inspired by the Sonos product, and I thought I could do a little bit tiny bit better because my ego is crazy. And so essentially what you're seeing right now is already some code done, and there's a lot of history behind this code particularly because I just recently converted to C++, so you guys are going to learn a C++ embedded project. And another reason why I'm doing this, I think, like I said, I think a lot of people make games with programs and stuff like that, but never really show you a practical application for programming. And I think this is a very good example, as you could use C and C++ and any other language. Don't get me wrong. I hate Python. I fuck Python. No offense. And HTML. Okay, whatever. This is another day, another video. But I'm going to show you some applications, I guess, that maybe, I can inspire one of you guys. You guys having a product idea, don't let it stop you. Just give it a shot. I've been working on this for years. I'm telling you, 10 plus. And just, still going at it. So, just get with it and just keep going. So this is a C++ project. It was originally in C. There's nothing wrong with C. I just think C is a great program. Honest to God, there's nothing wrong with C. I just want to challenge myself some more. And also, I'm a really big fan of reinforcement and intent. And what I mean by that is essentially intent. What is intent? When you trying to code like an abstraction or a header file, how do you make a developer understand where you're coming from, right? So in C, you just have your headers. Essentially, you got some enum classes, not enum classes, which is enums in general, and structs, and then it takes the developer and his two IQs essentially to determine what the boss is asking for. There's been a lot of situations where even in work or even in just chilling times that I try to code something from somebody, and it's just what's your intention with this? I don't know where you want me to put things. How does things work, and stuff like that. So I realize, I'm a really big fan of direction, especially when it comes to code. I think it's also really elegant and beautiful. I think the less time you bother someone, the better it is, I guess. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with asking people, but hopefully this makes more sense. So I have done the transfer from C to C++, and we're just kind of porting code over and also just improving and also just developing, right? This is going to be essentially this video vlog. It's going to be a coding blog by yours truly. It's going to be about my journey, about creating this audio amplifier from 0 to 100, minus this code here you see, but hopefully bring you guys along with me. We could learn some new things. You guys could make fun of me. You guys could teach me some new things. Hopefully I'm looking forward to that too. I'm not scared of any criticism whatsoever. And hopefully you guys have fun. The whole main thing of this is just being fun, just having fun doing this, finding a new community. Maybe I can make a Discord to find some abstraction this gets and stuff like that. So I know I'm rambling, like I said, first video, kind of scared of doing this, kind of a little nervous, can't tell, but I am shaking. I'm doing this. See, there you go. Anyways, reset, hard reset. Hope the music is good. I hope I don't get striked. But we changed the code to C++. What you're seeing now is pretty much a UART abstraction. And I know I mentioned how I left abstraction. I kind of cut the example here, but let me show you what C++ offers over C. As you can see, we're already in the .h file of this. You see that there's already like some enum classes, which has already its benefits over the regular enums in C, and so on and so forth. But it gets really sexy when it gets towards the class itself. This is the UR class here with the templating. Here is a templating essentially class, and then you have the internal helper functions here, and then you have this affix here. So this is one of the examples why I love C++. The no discard keyword essentially just ensures and reinforces the idea that you should use the return value of the function that you're using. The reason why this is a really good thing and an intent is that this is our important parameters to set up to ensure that UART is working properly, right? So a lot of people have bad habits, including myself. Like, don't worry, like I'm not perfect or anything like that. Like I do ignore the return symbols, not symbols, but like the numbers, integers, whatever the return value is. I do sometimes tend to ignore it just to get a good working prototype as soon as possible. But you know, we off that. So this tells you, once again, just tells you don't ignore my return or else I'm going to give you a warning. And then you could change warnings to errors and so on and so forth. But you could reinforce the idea of telling the developer or some juniors or whoever is below you or whoever you're working with, or ask God, whoever it is, doesn't matter, that, hey, you know what, this is my intent. And this is why C++ is so awesome. I mean, with many more things, right? Like templating and stuff like that. If you guys want to just like TLDR why I'm using C++, love C, but I just want more, right? So templating, big fan of it, huge fan of it. I'm going to try to use it. And once again, guys, I'm learning C++ as we go. I am not new to C++ per se. I'm not like the greatest C++ guy, but I am willing to learn, open my eyes, you know, just try different things. And so if you guys have any things I did wrong or I could do better, type it down, let me know, say what's up. I'll say what's up back, and I'll try to implement it in the next video, or I'll even talk about it and maybe roast you. We'll see. But that's the intention of C++, is the intent and syntax, how it's used to kind of help not be ambiguous of what the developer wants and stuff like that. This is a composition class here, which is moving on from the helper class. The whole point of this is just pretty much set up UART and just to ensure that we don't discard the return value due to the extent of the importance of setting these functions up. So I'm just trying to find words here. I haven't talked to people in a long time, so do forgive me. And stuff like that. So just moving on, yeah, and this is the composition class. This is the intention. Also, the one thing I love with C++, I think more in object oriented. Essentially, I think more in like building blocks and in pieces than just linear code and just inheriting things from C. Like essentially, just like include that, include this, include this. C++ really just takes home the idea of like what's kind of like it is a relationship, has a relationship, and what needs to be like that, you know. And lambdas are awesome too. Like just C++ is insane to me. I think it's a very elegant, powerful, very powerful language. So we have this. I'll show you a quick thing here of reg. Reg is essentially a very generic templating of, well, not really, there is templating, but it's pretty much, it's a very powerful abstraction. So essentially the whole goal of this is also to create code that works on any other microcontroller. You know what, and I'm just explaining this project without even telling this project hardware. I am so sorry, guys. So essentially, once again, this is an audio amplifier inspired by the Sonos products and other phenomenal products that are out there on the market right now. I just found them too expensive or just not that convenient for me. I'm a big audio guy, so I have a lot of audio. I go to a lot of parties, you know, I break dance, I do this and I do that, and I just need something that just kind of plugs. I have a PC, I need something with USB. You know, if I have a TV, hopefully something with the, you know, optical or HDMI eARC, or, you know, I'm listening to Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. If one of them goes down, at least one of them comes up. I just want a product that has every single source. Why wouldn't it, right? Just be that generic jack of all trades audio amplifier. The hardware I'm using, essentially the main processor I'm using to do all this, maybe it could be the first one to be used, but I'm using essentially a classical microcontroller. It's called the ARM M7, Cortex M7. It's 480 megahertz, it's crazy fast. Hopefully we get it working off that. And I'm using essentially other microcontrollers for this. Obviously the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, it's not an ARM thing at all, especially from STEM. But I'm using also two other microcontrollers that will deal with the Bluetooth, the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi. The Bluetooth is gonna be a little bit different here. It's not your classic Bluetooth like off the ESP32, but a traditional real Wi-Fi chip that uses, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think that they updated a new version, but it's Wi-Fi 5 and 6, which is really I'm looking forward to. It's also dual band, which uses the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. So I'm looking forward to trying that out as well later on, probably way later on in the videos. And I guess one thing, me talking about this is going to be a very technical video and just having fun as well. So I hope guys you're looking forward to something like that. Like I said, there's a lot of people who are technical like me, but they do it towards gaming or software application, doing like coding Fibonacci numbers for some reason. I don't think there's a lot of content where somebody creates something from code from 0 to 100 in a product essentially, or something just to be used like in real life everyday things. They are, but they're like Arduinos or Raspberry Pis already done for you. This is going to be that as 0 to 100. We create everything ourselves. If we're going to use a library, it's going to be a mature library probably, and I can tell you right now we're going to use libraries such as tiny USB. There's no way I'm going to create the USB stack again. If I need to, maybe that could be a thing, but I don't think so. I'm going to try USB stack first, or tiny USB, sorry, as the middleware. And also we're going to use something called little FS, which is a file system that we're going to be using as well for the EEPROM. This project will have EEPROM as well. Maybe in the next video I'll do a proper introduction of the hardware, but as of right now, that's going to be the little bit that it's just a little introduction. And yeah, sorry, I'm frozen here. Okay, so we're going back here. So that's pretty much the hardware introduction, very briefly about why this is important. So not only I'm trying to create a product from 0 to 100 using C++, but C++ also gives me the opportunity to essentially create generic programming. And what I mean by that is something like this here, which is a very powerful abstraction. We all know embedded. If not embedded, it's like essentially a branch off programming or software engineering that works with essentially mini computers that have their own registers, their own memory, depending on what you're dealing with and stuff like that. There are computers that are not as powerful as their in-home PCs and stuff like that. But sorry, getting a call.